What's up, family? We are about 4 months away from an economic crisis. Everything is going to collapse. We are talking about everything from the economy all the way up to Social Security, which is sad to be honest if you think about it, because it simply means that the government has failed us once again. We have seen multiple articles showing us the signs and Americans continue to ignore them, but we have got to prepare right now. Yes, guys, you are hearing it again. The United States will default sometime this summer unless Congress does have an opportunity to raise the U.S. debt ceiling. Yes, guys, we have received a huge warning from the CBO, which is a nonpartisan congressional budget office, which they issued a new estimate of how long the Treasury Department can sustain its extraordinarily measures to prevent a debt default. And yes, guys, we are talking about anywhere between the next 4 to 8 months. But guys, this particular article was written earlier in February, so really we have much time less than that. But anyways, they're saying that if Congress does not pass a debt ceiling increase before these particular measures are exhausted, the government will have to delay certain payments as well as the responsibilities, as well as defaulting on its debt according to the CBO. Now, the CBO also revised its projection for the size of the annual federal budget deficit over the next decade. And yes, guys, you can see right here in this picture that the national debt is sitting above $31 trillion. And the sad part about this is it continues to keep growing. It is not slowing down for anyone, guys. You already know just 10 years ago, we were sitting at around $20 trillion. And here we are, guys, continuing to grow over and over again. So how can we expect the United States to be able to run a budget if we continue to see things like this? The national debt over $31 trillion. Now, again, like I said, the U.S. could have the biggest default or collapse in history within the next 4 months. And we have got to start preparing right now, guys. And yes, as you can see right here, the United States could be 4 months away from a potentially disastrous debt ceiling breach. And the sad part about it is that no one is even talking about it. And no one is even negotiating on whether or not or even how to fix this huge problem that the United States government has dug itself into. And yes, guys, you can see some of the culprits right here on this particular screen. Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senator Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and the current Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, although he has just recently become the Speaker of the House. Now, the Democrats have already insisted that raising the debt ceiling should be bipartisan without any negotiations, because that is just how the United States has done things over the millions of years ago. And GOP lawmakers have refused to provide a clean increase, but they have yet to produce details on what they want in this particular negotiation bill. And so without that, guys, without them even working together, without them even trying to figure out exactly what the other party want to be included in this particular bill or this negotiation, the United States could breach the debt ceiling as soon as July. But I would also assume that this particular date has actually changed, so it could be as early as the month of June, according to the CBO and what they are expecting as their particular estimate on the United States defaulting on its responsibilities. Now, you can see right here that we are seeing other articles, guys, that says the debt ceiling for 2023, the U.S. will be unable to pay its bills sometime between July and September, according to the new data. Yes, the U.S. government will exhaust extraordinary measures if the debt ceiling isn't raised sometime between July and September. And the projected exhaustion date is uncertain because the timing and the amount of revenue collections and outlays over the intervening months could differ from CBO's projection, which is what I just stated, guys. It could be as early as the month of June. We still don't know as of yet, guys. These are always estimates, which pretty much fall in line within the short range in which they could fall under, which means that it could be between May and June and July. So we really don't know, guys. So you really can't wait until it actually happens. You have got to start preparing right now. And the CBO also said that this would partly depend on income tax receipts that they receive next month in April, which could be more or even less than what the CBO actually has expected. And over the long term, our projections suggest changes in fiscal policy must be made. However, they have yet to do so, which is pretty much why the United States could have a huge, disastrous economic fall if they don't fix this right now, which, like I said, they are not even doing anything right now, guys. So it's hard to say whether or not they will dig us from under this particular rug. But anyways, guys, what is this doing for the American people? Well, we are already seeing this affecting our older generation, such as our seniors, those individuals that are receiving Social Security, those individuals that are over the age of 50, in which some of them have pretty much having to be coming out of unretirement. And yes, guys, we are seeing this as a huge thing right now, in which you see unretirement is becoming a hot new trend in a sizzling United States labor market. Yes, the level of workers who retired then came back a year later is running around 3.2%, just about where it was before the pandemic. And just a little bit of a caveat, guys, a lot of this is because of the issues that we received during the pandemic. The pandemic has pretty much ruined the entire United States, as well as other economies out there as well. But we are only concerned about here in the U.S. as of now, right? But anyways, guys, it says that a thriving jobs market is which workers virtually have their pick on where to go, coupled with soaring inflation and the fading of COVID fears, all are contributing to this particular unretirement trend. And yes, guys, sadly enough, the COVID pandemic sent more than 8 million workers to the sidelines at one particular point during that episode within those 3 years, including many folks who decided it was the right time to retire as the workplace, as they knew it, faded out of sight. But with a thriving jobs market in which workers virtually have their pick on where to go, coupled with soaring inflation, fading of the COVID fears, some are finding it good time to rethink their plans and come back into the field. And guys, that is not just because they choose to, because they're just bored. It is pretty much because inflation has ruined people's lives, as well as the stock market dropping 18% last year in 2022, which pretty much sent all of those individuals that were relying on the retirement funds, pretty much sent them in a downward spiral. Hopefully they didn't panic and sell everything, because we are for sure that the market will actually turn back around. However, it might take anywhere between 6 and 12 months to do so. And so, yes, guys, we are seeing a large amount of people coming out of retirement. I know I have seen people post on our local website here where I live saying that they are on fixed income, they are retirement, they have worked and put in many years for the United States military, and here they are, because of the prices increasing from insurance to mortgages to the electricity bills and all of those things like that. They are pretty much having to come out of retirement just to make some additional money so that they can at least pay their bills. And yes, guys, this is not shocking to many, because you guys are suffering as well. I'm suffering, guys. We all are suffering, which is why everyone is trying to pick up little different jobs here and there to pick up some additional income just to survive, just to put food on the table. So yes, guys, this is a huge issue that we are dealing with right now. And the data is showing us that people over 50 years old are returning back to the workforce. So yes, guys, go ahead. Tell me down below in the comment section, would this apply to you? Are you over the age of 50? Are you thinking about coming out of retirement? Or are you being forced to come out of retirement? Sadly enough, that is majority of Americans. They are pretty much being forced out of retirement, which is completely sad, guys. And yes, guys, the increase in economic activity since the pandemic is a focus for the current government, with policies amid a boosting workforce participation expected in the upcoming budget. Most of the rise in inactivity has been between the ages of 50 and 64 years old, and new data provides tentative indications that the trend may be turning, though it is too early to say for sure, likely reflecting financial pressures from from the cost of living crisis that we are dealing with right now, which pretty much is telling us that the United States is almost about to collapse. People are having to go back to work. However, companies are laying off people. So those two are not even working together at this particular time. And people are struggling, guys. They are pretty much dealt them and built themselves into financial situations, which is pretty much causing them right now to be unable to just pay their bills, to afford electricity, to put food on their tables, and let alone be able to pay for their medications just to survive. We are seeing it from all over the space here in the United States, and I would almost imagine that this is also happening in other countries as well. If you guys are watching this channel and you live in another country, comment down below and let me know exactly if you guys are experiencing the same thing or this economic downfall that we are experiencing here in the United States. And guys, we are not just talking about regular individuals, we are also talking about our Social Security recipients. And yes, guys, we are also talking about the program itself, the entitlement program, the retirement program, the Social Security program that has been told for millions of Americans that it will continue to pay them income every single month because they have put in so many years and put in work and put in money into this particular system, and now that money is about to run out. Yes, guys, Social Security is also on the brink of a collapse, and the GOP doesn't even want to touch it right now. Guys, back in 1950, there was more than 16 workers for every beneficiary. And in 2035, that ratio will only be 2.3 workers per retiree. And yes, guys, if you follow policy debates long enough, arguments you never thought you've heard become key components of two-party policy documents or platforms. That's certainly the case when it comes to some Republicans and the Democrats, and they're never ever wanting to touch the Social Security program as well as the Medicare program. Guys, we have seen it before. We are seeing Congress right now talk about this situation, whether some of them are in support of surviving this particular platform, and then some of them just pretty much want to let it just pretty much die altogether. However, hopefully they will not allow that to happen, in which I will remind you guys that Bernie Sanders right now has a new plan on the table that will actually create a system in which Social Security program will actually be able to survive an additional 75 years. And yes, guys, that is a huge plan. However, so far they are unable to get the president to back this particular bill, as well as some other lawmakers in Congress. But again, guys, like I said, the coming financial collapse of Social Security is on its way. How soon will it get here? So far, they have previously projected it should come around the year of 2036, and then they moved it up 1 year to 2035, and now we're looking at as early as 2034, guys. This number continues to bounce around, and yes, guys, we still don't have a definite number because inflation continues to rise. We need to bring it down, which is why the Fed chairman continues to raise interest rates in order to bring the inflation percentage rate down just a little bit. But anyways, guys, so far that has not happened, which means that our Social Security program, those of you that are on SSI, SSDI, VA, all of those that are included under the umbrella of Social Security, we could see an economic collapse coming very soon for our Social Security beneficiaries. And again, guys, I will remind you, you need to start preparing right now. Whatever you do something, guys. Just don't do nothing, but do something. You have got to prepare right now. But anyways, guys, I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But don't forget to check out some of the items down below in the description. There are a few ways for you to be able to support this channel, and it's totally free to you. Also, some opportunities for you to receive things like 12 free stocks from Webull that could be worth up to $3,000. Or you can also receive the Amazon Prime membership for free for 30 days. Now, those are just a few, but go ahead and check out the links down below in the description. But anyways, hey, if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.